Welcome back to Red Panda of Destiny, here for another episode of All Your Vehicles Are Belong to Us, the show where we collect all the vehicles from all the places. Of course, going to give my little BMW here test run. I think this is the R3 World Tour. I was actually surprised that the McLaren F1 GT is not. Where's the LM? Whatever. This special extra fast version of the McLaren F1 is either a class above this car or a class below it. I'm not sure which, but this is the only R3 class car I have for some reason. Tried to fix the audio issues from last week. The volume was screwed up. I thought I turned it down low enough for the game, but it obviously did not. But man, this car handles way better than the McLaren. Oh shit. Oh crap. So the interesting thing about this game is all of the DLC cars are added, like, for free. You can't drive them, but they're all in the game for free. That F12 that's at the front, that's DLC, I believe. So it's really been added to the selection of options when we got this car. Because obviously the F12, 458 would have been a brand new car when this game came out. I think it's the car on the cover, actually. So the racing variant wouldn't have been done yet. So they would have had to leave it for later. Ooh. But it's kind of interesting they sort of advertise them in the game. That was blatant cutting of the line. Cheaters. What the? Was that a manufactured accident? Because that was awesome. They both cut the corner and then ran into each other. Side view. Shame we had to get rid of the art car stylings. Oh crap. God damn it. We have crashed. No. See, this game needs, what are they, yellow flags? That tell you to slow down because someone's had an accident. Actually, and I think they did add those in 7. Like, it'll say caution up ahead. Whether the other drivers take caution as well, I don't know. R8. Yeah, the handling is screwed up right now. Gearbox feels fine, but the car is pulling to the left. You can see the guy who hit me. He's kicking out smoke. Yeah, mess up the steering. That's what it is. Are they in the same car? Or the liveries different? I feel like the liveries is how they inflated the car list for this game. It's like, no, there's 3 of these Acura Le Mans cars, or it's actually almost 6, I think, 5 or 6, and they're all separate cars, right? Granted, some of them are different, but this is only 2, really. And they come in different. Damn it. Let's see if we can make up at least a couple places here. Well, we can pass him because he's also had an accident. It's the same accident. I guess the accident the two Ferraris had did not do much damage because they still seem to be at the front. I'll tell you another thing. Forza Motorsport 7 did better. More cars in a race. 10 is not enough. That's definitely a technical limitation thing. It'll take a while for him to build up. Oh, say goodbye to the Ford GT. He's gone. He's going that way. I do find the big appeal of the newer games is you get to drive the newer cars. Because obviously you play this game, you're stuck with what was out in 2011, or what was about to come out. So, like for instance, this game, instead of having a Focus RS in it, has a Focus ST, because they only had the ST, there was no RS. For the Mark III Foci. While as Motorsport 7 has, you know, it's not quite new enough to have a new Focus in it, but it does have the RS and some rally Focuses, notably Ken Block's. So I'd say we're doing pretty well, considering the accident. Third place is nothing to scoff at. When your car keeps trying to pull you off the track. There we go. Some BMW Affinities also.
Now it's back to the Georgia asphalt of the Road Atlanta course.
Multi-class. You know what? I'm not even going to bother looking at the event list anymore. I'm just going to click based on which one gives me credits. Oh, man. We've gone down the GT2 rabbit hole here. And no, not that GT2. I thought today we might look at some what some publications say is the best racing game of all time. Interestingly, if you Google it, the first game that comes up is Forza Horizon 4, followed by Mario Kart 8, Burnout Paradise, Burnout 3 Takedown, Assetto Corsa, Forza Horizon, and it looks like Gran Turismo 5. Oh, Gran Turismo 3. The confusingly titled A-Spec. The only Gran Turismo title that has a subtitle. Really weird. And then when you compare it to the fact that Gran Turismo 5 had that weird little prologue game. And, did Gran Turismo 6 have a weird thing? I think I'm thinking of Forza Motorsport 6, because they had that Forza Motorsport 6 Apex, which was like a free-to-play demo for the PC. Even though it wasn't ever released on the PC. And apparently it's not available anymore, because I tried to download a copy, and you can't. If you want to play Forza Motorsport on the PC, you buy Forza Motorsport 7. Or you get an emulator and play this. Oh, God. Wait, I'm winning? That's the weird thing about the multi-class races is you see the cars in front of you storm off into the distance, and then you're left going, shit, why am I so slow? Well, it's because they're winning. Because they're much better. Where are they? Oh yeah, they're 2 classes ahead of us. But we'll see if they overtake us. I think the problem with these races is they're not long enough. 3 laps is not long enough for a multi-class event, because they'll never catch up to you. You're just going to be left. Like, the only significance to the race is that you see some cars go off into the distance beforehand. It's really crazy. And I wish they do it with more extremes. Like, say we're racing against some maybe C-class cars. That would be crazy. Or you could do R1 with F-class. Or take it a step further and do X-class. Though X-class isn't really designed for the main game. I feel like X-class is just like off the scale. Because the only way to do that is to take the limiter off of the higher end cars. Definitely feeling the stability of this car though. As long as you don't push the power too hard, it won't spin out on you. Or if you try and push the power onto the grass, that's not gonna work. Yep, see? Not even a whiff of the R1 class cars. Can't even see it. Waste of time. So let's take a look at the best racing games of all time. This is an IGN article. Looks like it was from this year, actually. No, 2020, last year. Posted in July. See, do they rank them?
Return to the Infineon landing road course, Cisco.
Let's have a go with this. What do we got? Oh. Okay. All right, let's see. So we have Rock and Roll Racing from 1993. Find it doubtful that that's the 25th best racing game of all time, but okay. Wreckfest. Disappointingly low on the list there. 24. I put Wreckfest in the top 5. I love Wreckfest. That game is awesome. It's got just the right amount of realism mixed with a bit of zaniness. I mean, it has a loop-the-loop on one of the tracks. A loop-the-loop that crosses itself. It's crazy. Okay, then we have Wave Race 64. No prizes for guessing which console that debuted on. We have Hard Driving, 1989. I really find it hard to believe that one of the 25 best racing games of all time came out in 1989. I really don't think there were any good racing games that came out in the 20th century. I mean, the hardware just isn't there for racing games. Well, that's probably me being the opposite of like an old grumpy person. I'm a young grumpy person. Oh, things are so much better now. At least in gaming, that's pretty clear. It's really hard to argue that gaming was better back then. I mean, though I will say that gaming might have been slightly better back when this game was made. But that might just be me showing my age. This is the era I grew up with, and thereby it's the best. Naturally. Oops. It's kind of hard to remove the rose tinting from your spectacles. You just remember games better. For instance, my favorite Need for Speed game is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. And no, not the one that came out in 2011? 2010? Something like that. The one that came out in 2002. The original Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, before they started renumbering everything. Ridiculous. This is a trend that I really hate. Let's just reboot everything. Why? And it's like, it's a Need for Speed game. No one thinks they need to play the previous games to understand the plot of the next one. Like, why couldn't the new Need for Speed Hot Pursuit games be Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 3 and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 4? Like, just add numbers to them. But no, it's a reboot and it's fancy. I don't think they even did a game that didn't have any subtitles, just Need for Speed. Again. No, Need for Speed came out in the 1990s. And I will concede to the first reboot of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, because technically the first Need for Speed Hot Pursuit was Need for Speed 3. So there is a distinction there, but there are now literally 2 games that are called Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. It's a little insane when you think about it. There's 2 sequels that have the same name. Doesn't bother me quite as much as the... Or no, it bothers me more than the series that just get the numbers dropped. Okay, I just activated Siri. How'd that happen? Hang on a minute. Somebody hacked my phone. That's not fair. They tried to distract me. That's why I have a lot of respect for Final Fantasy. I've never played a Final Fantasy game. I don't think I would really like a Final Fantasy game, but I have a lot of respect for them sticking with the numbers. All the way to 15, and presumably through to 16. Though they did count, what, 2? Is it 2 or 3 of them are MMOs, which kind of bugs me. I feel like they should have been a separate thing. Like, imagine if Warcraft 4 was World of Warcraft. That would be really confusing. It's not. They used the word world to identify that this is not Warcraft 4, it is an MMO in the Warcraft universe. So why you couldn't have done a Final Fantasy, it's just a world of Final Fantasy. Or Final Fantasy World, Final Fantasy Online. Did they do that? Any of those things would work, but no, we gotta make up and use a number. Very strange. Let's see, on the list we are at number 21, Midnight Club 3, Dub Edition. I actually had that game at one point, and I did not like it. I did not like the physics of the Midnight Club series. I might need to revisit it at some point. I couldn't get behind it. It looks like the next game's Colin McRae Rally. I never played that game, but I think it's a precursor to the Dirt series, because I know the first and second Dirt games, well, the second one only in certain markets, had Colin McRae before it. So I'll believe that it's good, but it's like, with games like that, why not just play the best one instead of like a innovative one? I hesitate to say play the newest one because I have Dirt 4 and I don't like it. I'd much rather play Dirt 2. Okay. Ooh, number 19. Wait, do we not make it to the next level? Oh, wow, okay. 19, Trials HD. Yeah, I'll give that a seal of approval. But again, like, play Trials Rising. It's much better, or at the very least, play Trials Evolution. Trials HD had that weird, annoying thing that it was always in a warehouse.
You're on your way back to Italy on the Mugello Autodromo Internazionale.
And it's like there's only so much of being in a warehouse that you can take. Ooh, let's do the Audi showcase. So I will give the Trials series a yes, but HD, it's the same gameplay, but the setting leaves a lot to be desired. And then F1 2020. Interesting that they went for the most recent F1 game, which is what you should do with those games. Oh, that's interesting. 17 is a game called Mashed from 2005? I've never heard of Mashed. It looks like some kind of combat-based. Interesting. Never heard of that. We have Ridge Racer from 1993. Classic. Whether it's any good today, I don't know. And iRacing 2008, which I think is still considered one of the best full sim racers. Though I think I'm right in saying that's the one that becomes very expensive. It's a bit like Microsoft Flight Simulator. You have to keep buying new cars, new tracks, new stuff. You buy like a weather module probably. But probably about as close to driving a real car in a game as you can get. And I think iRacing actually has like FIA approved racing and sanction and everything. Let's get inside. There we go. Oh no, screwed it up. Never mind. I like how Audi makes a, supercar, and then they also make sedans that are as fast as the supercar that they make. If they could do that, couldn't they make the supercar faster? I feel like the bosses... actually, I'm not sure how the structure of Volkswagen is, because I know it used to be that Lamborghini was technically under Audi. So are they just like, well, we can't really make a car that's faster than the Lamborghini, so... here's the Audi R8. Because it's a bit like the Golf and the Audi A3. The Golf is really just a cheaper A3 that you don't have to pay Audi prices for. In the same way that the R8 is the Lamborghini Gallardo that you don't have to pay Lamborghini prices for. Or, no, it'd be a Lamborghini Huracan now. And then I suppose the hot Skodas are like Golfs that you don't have to pay Volkswagen prices for. So I don't think Volkswagen has the slightly ridiculous price hike that it has in America. It's not much in America, but it's just a little bit more than you really want to pay for a Volkswagen. Like, happy to pay a little bit more for a Honda or a Toyota because they have that reputation of reliability. And even Hyundai and Kia to a certain extent. But for a Volkswagen, no. I'd rather buy a Ford. Although that's not really an option anymore. Unless you want a SUV of some sort. Or pickup truck. Or a Mustang. But I don't think Volkswagen competes with Ford on that. I think the muscle car will remain an American thing. Since they killed off the Australian ones. You're not going to really have the Germans trying to sell cheap V8 rear-wheel drive sports cars like that. And the Japanese are more interested in selling cheap inline 4 or boxer rear-wheel drive cars. Cars that think 250 horsepower is a little bit too much. I think the new Toyota Subaru Coupe, the 86 and the BRZ, they're supposed to have like upwards of 220 horsepower, which makes them look a lot more appealing than their biggest competitor, the Miata, which only has 180 horsepower now. But I suppose when the BRZ came out, it was a 201 horsepower car versus the 160 horsepower Miatas, so that makes sense. The Miata sails by on its sterling reputation and handling. But they really need to bring back the Mazda Speed Miata they had for the NB, where you actually could get one that was actually turbocharged. Because I'm sure plenty of people would happily pay for a turboed Miata. And people would still buy the basic model. I really think that the Miata should just reflect the Mazda 3 engine lineup, and since that has a turbo, you can have a Miata with a turbo. I mean, that's the whole point of a Miata. It's a small rear-wheel drive sports car with the engine from a compact saloon car. It's a cheap way to make a sports car. Though it still amazes me that Ford and Chevy and Dodge can make cars for the same price with engines double the size. Also on a rear-wheel drive chassis that is not used in any other vehicle. I guess Dodge to a lesser extent because they do the Charger, which you could buy as a normal sedan. You don't buy a Mustang or Camaro as a normal car. You buy it because you want a sports car. But I'm sure plenty of people do not buy Chargers as sports cars. Even though you easily could buy a Hellcat. Nope. Let's see what else is on the list here. Got Outrun from 1986. That's the game where you race around on a Ferrari and basically spawned its own music genre. How many racing games can say that? Let's see, we have Test Drive Unlimited. The weak choice. The only really interesting thing about Test Drive Unlimited is they took the whole island of Oahu and from like a satellite view, and then turned it into a game map. So it's pretty cool in that regard, but the driving leaves a lot to be desired. Then let's see. We also have pole position from 1982. I don't know what that is. Chase cam view. Oh, it invented the chase cam view. Cool. Most expensive. Okay, so we're gonna want either the Agera or this. B comes before K, so B it is. I'm gonna just extend the episode just so we can finish IGN's list here. Should I? Okay, I'm gonna go for this just because it has the white secondary color. And then we'll paint the rest of it white in a second. I think the way they set up the secondary colors is kind of screwed up in that you can't actually choose what the secondary color is.
Today you'll revisit Switzerland and the twists and turns.
Because imagine if you could change the stripes on like the 500 and just say, yeah, I'd like it in this stripe. Okay. Okay, that's not the right car. Well, maybe we should leave it, because it is the standard BMW or a Bugatti white, and we did do that for other cars, so... I'm not doing that. No, that does not look white. Jeez. It's like white and gold. It's interesting. There's a quote in the article. It says, pole position is, without a doubt, one of the most influential and important racing games ever made. Oh, it does say one of, not the. Because I was going to say, that's a little bit of a strong case for a game that nobody remembers. And then, let's see, we also have Wipeout 2097 at 11. That's the sort of hover car racing game with lots of speed and rave music. Gotta have rave music in a Wipeout game, or it's not been done right. I think Lamborghini sounds fun. No, it doesn't. What Ferrari do I have? Ooh, my favorite, GTO. We'll be fine. Okay, getting into the top 10. I do not like this list. Number 10, Need for Speed Most Wanted. I mean, it's certainly one of the better Need for Speed games, but the best. No, do not think so. Then we have TOCA Race Driver 2006. I think this is the official touring car racing game. Yeah, not really interested in that one. Then we have Road Rash from 1994 or 1996. What's Road Rash? Okay, the only really interesting thing about Road Rash is it was soundtracked by Soundgarden. It seems to me that if you soundtrack the game with one band, you're going to get pretty sick of that one band. But hey, that's just me. Then we have Street Rod from 1989. Interestingly, the quote says it's called Street Racer, but whatever. Ooh, dear. So presumably this car's old enough that it wouldn't have had most safety features, so it should have the handling to cope. You know, I wonder if, oh god, downplaying the upgrades might have actually made this easier because the car's not going to spin out on me. Man, that line of cars came exactly the wrong way. So we need to get 30 cars a lap here. See if we can manage that. It's interesting going like down these couple classes. The car seems so much easier to drive. But again, that might also be the era. This car did not originally have any stability control or traction control. I think they had ABS in the 80s. Probably had that. But I mean, ABS is really easy to compensate for. You just tap the brakes. Oh, that's tight, tight. Thought about threading the needle there, but that probably wouldn't end well. So I think if we need 58, 28, almost 29 should be good. Oh wait, that was before the finish line. Okay, so we basically perfect at this point. We just have another lap as good as that one. We go. Oopsie daisy. Bit of slide, too much. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, it's closing gap. Yeah, but that would have cost us a couple cars, I think. Take the outside. Hold up, my phone's ringing. Okay, phone answered. Let's go. Ah! Again, with the pausing in a really stupid spot. I did that the last time I recorded. Always pause on a straight. So we've got about 10 cars to go. 9 cars to be exact. There's 3 right here. That little S curve is kind of tricky, and you gotta overtake 3 people who are way slower than you. 6, okay. Oh, it's gonna be close. A little too close, I think. Too close, yeah, we failed. Wait, I didn't fail. And I got 59. Nice. Photo finish. Okay, let's see what games we got left. We got Street Rod from 1989. Never heard of it. Oh, apparently it is a very old street racing sort of game. Wow, that's interesting. Driver San Francisco from 2011. Fair choice. Daytona USA from 1993. It's a NASCAR game, I think.
For a race on the world-renowned Suzuka circuit.
That one I think was actually pretty cool. But I never played it. But I think we'll wrap this episode up with the last 4. We got Mario Kart 8. Of course, it's a Mario Kart game. Forza Horizon 3. Okay, sure. Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. Okay. I guess that's the classic Gran Turismo. I thought it was 4, but that's number 2. So number 1 is Burnout 3 Takedown. Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Burnout is awesome. Anyway, we'll be back next week with something else. See you then.